The next item is something that I asked the town manager to put on the agenda. It concerns parking primarily on Main Street. I'm picking up, and I'm hoping that the folks in the Fourth Amendment, Fourth Estate here will pay attention. We're getting a lot of, I don't know about the rest of the board, but I'm getting a lot of complaints from merchants on Main Street about other people who do business on Main Street parking all day, taking up parking spaces. It's to the point now, I can probably point out probably 7 or 8 vehicles in 2 blocks here that take up parking all day. Don't want to make an issue out of it at this point. If folks can voluntarily use off-street parking if they work in town. That's just something I'd like to request, and I'd like to hear from the board on it. Any of the board members have any feelings on asking people, if you work on Main Street, to park off Main Street?
The only comment I would have, Mr. Mayor, is if for some reason somebody has a disability.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
but I mean, we need to make sure that that's, you know, because we did have an instance where we didn't realize somebody was having a real health issue, and that's why they were parking on Main Street. But it just kind of festers and festers, but certainly somebody would just mention, I have to park on Main Street because, yeah.
And this would sort of exempt for a certain reasonable amount of time, unloading and unloading. Chief, you and Captain Bates want to weigh in on that, what we might do if it continues? 2-hour parking?
No, if you put up 2-hour parking, then you'd have to come up with some way to enforce it.
What about those things locked on tires?
You can purchase those.
Well, I'm really hoping that we can just make a plea to folks to stop it without having to go to the tire booths or whatever they call it, or hiring somebody to go around with a piece of chalk and mark the tires. I really hope that the folks that are doing this will read it in the paper or on the radio and will voluntarily handle it. I'd hate to see us make it an infraction or something if we can possibly avoid that. The other thing is sometimes we have people that like to park and then hike to the curb. They leave their vehicles out into the lane of traffic. Big pickup trucks seem to be the biggest violator of it. So I'd like for y'all to say that if the board is in approval, that folks pull up to the curb, not on the sidewalk, but pull up to the curb, because we do have a problem with one lane, and maybe we need to start re-looking down the road at our parking scheme on Main Street.
Yeah, when we redid the lines last year, it was only a temporary, we can make a decision on some of the DOT recommendations or our highway, we have a study that's asking about.
And then the final thing concerning traffic that I wanted to mention, last month from June the 29th to July the 28th, we had 54 traffic accidents. I don't know what's gotten into people. Maybe it's the heat. But it seems like we're having an inordinate amount of speeding, and particularly downtown area. And I'm not sure that people are aware that this is a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit on Main Street. So if you folks could help us, I'd hate for somebody to get a speeding ticket who's having financial problems. It costs them, what, $300, $400, $500, Chief?
Yeah, roughly
For court
$300.
costs? And I'd like to avoid that if we can, having our folks issue tickets, but we do. I tell you, Main Street, you're sort of taking your life in your hands to try to cross it.
Are you asking for suggestions?
Somewhat, yes ma'am.
You need a blinking yellow light and an overhead 20-mile-an-hour sign. People do not see the 20-mile-an-hour that's on the side of the road.
We're hoping they're going to. We got something possibly that we're gonna do to bring that to their attention. So,
How are you thinking of getting the word out of parking request? Like a letter to business owners, maybe?
I
Why
think
can't
that's
we
an
adopt
idea.
a resolution on that and send one to the county of Macon, which has people that may be parking on that, as well as drop off one to every business on Main Street, as well as.
I'm not sure we can do that. That's a U.S. road.
On the state.
A resolution is just a recommendation.
I think you could make a request.
We're just
Yeah, resolution
asking,
just
all we're doing is
request.
asking people, yeah, right now.
Please consider asking.
But isn't Main Street of Highlands and Silver state roads also? And they enforce parking up there. I understand you can get one of those tire boots on your car.
But we
Just, generally streets, sidewalks, and parking are, of course, that is subject to, if it's a state maintained road, what the DOT, they have the final say in it. But I think they generally defer to the local government about how the parking is gonna go and where we have, I think the town has always made the decision where things need to be patched off or, that sort of thing. So I do think we've got some authority subject to the consent of the state government.
We used to have parking meters,
Yeah, oh yeah, we did.
so.
Well, let's see if the media can't help us out, and if you really can't, I want you all to walk across Main Street with me. So let's try that if we can. Let's go and make a play to the public if you folks would help us out a little bit and see, help get the word out. And if y'all want to, we can make sign of a generic letter that we can leave off at the different businesses.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. All right, this is, takes care of that. An update